Trump administration is deploying an estimated 2,000 federal agents to Minneapolis. That includes ICE agents.
Homeland Security posted on social media this afternoon, quote, "We're not leaving until the problem is solved."
Go home to Texas, ass.
January 7th, 2026. A month into the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration in Minneapolis, federal officers approached an activist named Renee Good as she sat in her car.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God! What the What the You just what the did you do?
The killing of Renee Good by ICE officer Jonathan Ross stunned the country.
What did you do? You! Shame! 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 Shame!
We are following a breaking news situation in South Minneapolis, a shooting involving ICE agents.
We have just learned the victim's name. She is a 37-year-old woman, and her name is Renee Nicole Good. She was shot and killed today, and ICE claims that the agent opened fire after Good, quote, weaponized her vehicle in an attempt to kill a federal officer.
In the days afterwards, I spoke to eyewitnesses and visited the site where Good was killed.
Yeah, I just started filming because I saw her body on the ground.
A few blocks away, I met Liliana Zaragoza, who showed me videos she'd taken the morning of the shooting. She was on her way home after dropping off her kids.
I opened my door and I exited with my hands up, and I looked at one of the MPD officers, right? And I said, "I'm an attorney. What's going on? Is this an ICE operation? Is it an MPD operation? Is it something else?" And he said, "This is a crime scene now."
For activists like you, what does her death mean?
I think it hits close to home for a lot of us who've been responding to these ICE raids. Frankly, I was there responding like Renee Good was responding.
The Trump administration depicted Good as part of an extremist left-wing movement.
Is that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job.
And the man the administration put in charge of the operation, Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino, defended the officer who killed her.
A 4,000-pound missile is not something anyone wants to face, especially in a split-second decision-making process in a very already inhospitable environment. Hats off to that ICE agent. I'm glad he made it out alive. I'm glad he's with his family.
By the time Renee Good was killed,
Bovino is in the gold Suburban.
I'd been following Bovino and the Trump administration's immigration sweeps around the country for 7 months.
You speak English?
Thousands had been arrested on immigration charges.
Do me a favor, just stay back, okay?
What is your mission today? Like, if you were going to describe it for PBS?
Title 8 immigration enforcement. So that's what we're here for. And all these bad people and bad things you see on the street that prey on American citizens, we're here to get them.
But there was also a backlash.
Better be careful. There's a lot of violence. Be careful.
Are you encountering a lot of resistance?
Most I've ever seen.
Really?
You bet.
Amid the protests, the masked and heavily armed federal agents, sometimes backed by the military, had also arrested hundreds of U.S. citizens, routinely portraying them as domestic terrorists or extremists.
Like, who do you think you're dealing with? Like, I'm not like Rambo or anything.
With my colleagues at ProPublica and Frontline, we've interviewed officials, experts, and insiders.
So I've definitely seen a lot of violent acts instilled onto the agents by the protesters.
And we analyzed the arrests of more than 300 protesters and bystanders caught in the crackdown.
How could you do this?
Why did you stop and question?
Only 305. Please get out of here. Get back. Get back.
While there have been some successful prosecutions, Over and over, cases have been falling apart, contradicted by video evidence and witness testimony.
Do you have video of it?
Right here.
And that's you getting it?
Yep.
Federal prosecutors have been dismissing charges or not filing them at all.
So the case has collapsed. These things are not resulting in any real prosecution.
And in cities across the country, countless people have been injured, and some even killed, by officers using tactics that experts say violate their own rules.
People live here!
You're not allowed to use less lethal weapons in that way. You're not allowed to fire people's heads.
The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted. Fearing for his life, a Border Patrol agent fired defensive shots.
By February, amid rising opposition around the country, the Trump administration began backing off its campaign, and the man at the center of it, Greg Bovino,
Stay back.
was out.
Reports of a surge in raids of undocumented residents have been circulating on social media.
The roots of the story trace back to January 2025.
Pura migra.
And a little-known operation that Bovino led in Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, regular undercovers, everything.
It was called Return to Sender.
They just were rolling around the city like it was theirs, as if they were right, in the El Centro border.
Journalist Sergio Olmos reported on it for the nonprofit news outlets Cal Matters and Evident Media.
Greg Bovino, who was then the sector chief for El Centro, sent out about 65 agents 300 miles north of his sector into the interior of California to do this operation that they said at the time they had a targeted list of criminals they were going after.
Fools came in deep on the Home Depot lot, helicopter and all.
But Greg Bovino's crew would go up to Home Depots, gas stations, farmland.
La migra, güey.
Looking at people who look Latino and stopping them and asking, show me your papers.
Thanks so much for inviting us.
Bovino agreed to talk to Olmos about the operation.
Every single one of the 78 that we arrested were criminals. When you cross the border illegally, 8 U.S.C. 1325, illegal entry into the United States, so they were all criminals. Let's get that one out of the way here, right out of the box.
You're under arrest right now for alien smuggling. Actual federal felony.
If they cross the border illegally, then they're coming with us. They were under arrest, and they're coming with us.
We got documents from Customs and Border Protection that showed that 77 out of the 78 people they arrested, they had no knowledge of criminal or immigration history prior to encountering them. All that means is they didn't know who these people were when they arrested them. The idea of a target enforcement where traditionally someone like an agency like ICE would find out if somebody has a criminal record, they'd surveil their house, they'd check to see if they had been deported before. That whole pre-investigation stuff, that doesn't happen when guys in Border Patrol just roll up to Home Depot and Kevlar and mask and see who runs.
That's up what you guys are doing.
And this operation in Bakersfield we saw as a kind of test case for how he could use Border Patrol in the interior.
We made contact with and arrested a lot of bad people.
In the interview with Olmos in early 2025, Bovino said the Border Patrol would be taking an aggressive approach going forward.
Over the next several years, we're going to go hard. Whether you're an illegal alien, a fentanyl smuggler, or any other type of transnational criminal threats, I'd self-deport right now. Just go ahead and self-deport because the green team is on the job and it's game on. Game on with the green team.
Federal authorities have been reported at several locations in Los Angeles.
5 months after Operation Return to Sender, the Trump administration deployed Greg Bovino to Los Angeles. He would be a key player in carrying out the president's immigration crackdown.
Widespread immigration raids here in LA.
Federal officials have detained multiple people at different locations.
I arrived in LA as dozens of people a day were being swept up in raids by the Border Patrol, ICE, and other federal agencies.
15-year-old Brian Vasquez screaming at Border Patrol agents as they take his father into custody.
Angry residents were also coming out to confront the agents.
You got no jurisdiction!
protests were erupting.
At this point, they're clearly outnumbered.
They certainly are, and they're slowly making their way out of here.
Oh, you guys, this is the Paramount on Atlantic.
On June 7th, hundreds of protesters gathered near a Border Patrol staging area.
I'm gonna start charging on this right now, but I don't know. Hey, you guys, there's more of us than there's them. Come on.
Bovino told his agents how to handle the protesters.
Arrest as many people that touch you as you want to. Those are the general orders all the way to the top. Everybody gets it if they touch you. You hear what I'm saying? Less legals. We're going to look at shipping tractor trailer loads of that in here. So you catch what it's all about us now. It ain't about them. Professional, legal, ethical, moral. You know what we're talking about. Legal, ethical, moral. You're on camera. But other than that, it's what we do.
What city is it, Chief?
This fire city.
What the community do?
As the federal agents faced off against the demonstrators, they began unleashing tear gas and other crowd control weapons. The protest escalated.
What you're witnessing in California is a full-blown assault on peace, on public order, and on national sovereignty carried out by rioters bearing foreign flags with the aim of continuing a foreign invasion of our country. We're not going to let that happen.
Wall Street! Our street! Wall Street! Our street!
President Trump would quickly mobilize the National Guard.
National Guard out of LA! National Guard out of LA!
The administration cited vandalism and attacks on agents.
What we have seen transpire in Los Angeles, California in recent days is shameful. The mob violence is being stomped out. The criminals responsible will be swiftly brought to justice. And the Trump administration's operations to arrest illegal aliens are continuing unabated.
On the ground, Bovino defended the operation.
As for the violence and the demonstrators, violence will not deter us, the CBP mission here in Los Angeles.
We know how to bring about peace, and peace begins with ICE leaving Los Angeles.
LAPD on scene, guys. They're gonna come to attack us. Look.
It was becoming clear that this wasn't just an immigration operation. It was evolving into something different. The federal government was also cracking down on demonstrators and arresting them in large numbers. One of those arrests, down the street from a corner store in East LA, caught my attention.
Hi, can we see the footage, the video?
Yeah.
So this is from the raid this morning, and this looks like National Guard troops, 8 to 12 of them pulling up in 2 vans at about 5:52 in the morning. They put a cordon across the street, and they're blocking the street. And then our understanding is behind that, they're arresting somebody who was involved in the protest. The FBI is arresting them.
The man they arrested was Alejandro Oriana, a Marine Corps veteran who was part of a group that had been protesting the raids.
It was like almost exactly at 6 in the morning. Suddenly I hear like man over a loudspeaker call my name, telling me that it's the FBI and that I need to come outside. They already have like their guns out. They throw the flashbangs in and they still break down the front door, and they detain my family for like an hour. There was like over like more than 24 like National Guardsmen just like lined up on my street as they were driving me off. It's like, who do you think you're dealing with? Like, I'm not like Rambo or anything.
Lots of people wearing masks just in case there is more clashes with police tonight.
It all stemmed from a news video in the early days of the protests.
We have people right now, look at this, dropping off food and water.
What are those boxes?
Are those masks?
That doesn't look like food.
Yeah,
and
those
water.
are.
Looks like masks.
Yeah, no, those are masks. Yeah.
A bunch of us took it upon ourselves to, go downtown and give out these resources. The food, water, and of course, the PPE.
Probably don't put on a mask unless you have a plan of not wanting somebody to see your face.
Oriana was soon identified as the driver of the truck.
Americans have to get organized.
And targeted by the conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
You saw the man handing out the thousands of dollars of face shields.
And then by the Trump administration.
You will see boxes and boxes of very professionalized masks and rioting equipment being dropped off for these protesters.
They're kidnapping people. I, National Guard, la misma.
The morning after the press conference, Oriana was arrested on charges including conspiracy, a charge often used for organized crime rings and drug syndicates. The acting U.S. Attorney, Bill Essayli, was on the scene, promoting the raid to a Fox News crew that had been given exclusive access.
We have made it a huge priority to try to identify, locate, and arrest those who are involved in organizing, supporting, funding, or facilitating these riots that they're going on.
Neither Essayli nor anyone from the Trump administration would talk to us about Oriana's arrest or the overall operation in LA. 6 weeks later, the charges against Oriana were dropped without any public explanation.
One of the reasons why I feel like they dropped the case is because they looked at the case, they took a hard look, and especially like these more experienced prosecutors were able to convince Bill Essayli that, you know, you're not going to win. Like, it's a ridiculous case. Like, masks, they're not even, like, you can't assault someone with a mask.
And your feeling is you were targeted, why?
I mean, it's not just my feeling, you know, it's not because of the masks, it's because you're an activist.
One of the cases we're looking into involves Alejandro Oriana.
Yes.
We looked at 116 cases in California like Oriana's. U.S. citizens who were arrested in protests or bystanders who'd been observing the immigration agents. Many of those cases are still ongoing, and to be sure, some defendants have been convicted of violent crimes. But more than 40 cases have fallen apart, with prosecutors dropping charges or juries acquitting defendants. Ortega's office has represented the defendants in most of those cases.
Cases started getting dismissed or started getting reduced to misdemeanors. That was very confusing for us at the beginning because we would read the press statements, we'd see the social media posts, and we were expecting a case that was serious, and then we would get the evidence, we would review it, and we would see something else.
Had you seen something like that before?
No, this is very unusual to have a complaint filed where there's factual ambiguities that eventually result in problems for the government's case. That's not common.
Greg Bovino would continue leading immigration operations in LA through the summer.
Now we're here making Los Angeles a safer place.
If you've been in policing, as I have for many years, you come to realize that protests, civil disorder of various kinds are part of the territory that you have to deal with.
Chris Magnus oversaw Bovino when he was head of Customs and Border Protection during the Biden administration.
He's one of those guys that I sort of learned as a chief. There, you go into a room and there's always somebody like the provocateur, the guy that's not afraid to ask the tough questions, to take the chief on. In the Border Patrol sector chief meetings, he was that guy.
He told me he was concerned that Bovino and his forces were actually instigating some of the unrest in LA.
There are always some protesters in any group that take it too far, that probably will need to be arrested. But the smart thing to do is you have a specific group of officers who are trained to be able to go into a crowd and extract those individuals, but to do it in a way that doesn't inflame the entire group.
But by September, tensions were only rising.
We're just getting this news.
Conservative activist
Charlie Kirk
has been shot.
Wow, this is unbelievable. Pray for him right now.
Enough is enough.
The killing of Charlie Kirk prompted a wave of harsh rhetoric from the Trump administration.
We have to talk about this incredibly destructive movement.
Left
right-wing radicals, and they will be held accountable.
And it must stop right now.
And it would set the tone as the administration's immigration sweeps moved on to a new city, Chicago.
The Department of Homeland Security says it has begun Operation Midway Blitz, targeting Chicago and the state of Illinois.
Governor Pritzker estimates some 200 ICE agents and 100 vehicles are positioned in and around the city of Chicago.
Hey, you speak English? How long have you been in the United States, sir?
35. 35, yeah. 35 years.
35 years?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys just roll up on the first Asian dude you saw?
As in LA,
Ice Trump.
the agents met fierce resistance here.
Yeah, I gotta cover your face.
What about you? You have your documents? Is it a copy of it or what?
Bobino, whatever his name is. You're a...
She's watching you.
Greg Bovino had been given a new title, Commander at Large for Immigration Operations.
How long have you done the concrete?
8 years.
8 years. Wow, I can tell you do a good job. I wish I could write my name in the cement there.
I wanted to interview Bovino about what I'd been seeing here in Chicago and in LA.
Can you tell us anything about what's going on today with PBS?
It's just it's called Title 8 Immigration Enforcement.
Okay, are you just stopping people who are doing yard work or people who have
Title 8
skin?
Immigration Enforcement.
Okay.
C4, those are good. All right, think that'll do. Hey, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Have a good day.
Hey, Commander, we'd love to arrange an interview for PBS. What's the best way to do that?
Hey, if you would notify our public affairs officer. Hey, what's your name again?
It's A.C. Thompson.
A.C. Thompson. Nice to meet you, bro.
I would keep trying to get an interview with him and others at the agency.
Here in Broadview, we have had huge crowds of protesters coming out every Friday for the past month.
The Chicago suburb of Broadview was the site of some of the most intense protests against the immigration sweeps.
You're here protecting them. You know this is wrong. You know it's wrong.
On the morning of October 3rd, about 200 demonstrators gathered in front of an immigration processing center.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem at the ICE Processing Center this morning.
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was on the scene, accompanied by her own video team.
Just wanting to show everybody exactly how nice it is out here.
As was Benny Johnson, a pro-Trump influencer showcasing the operation.
You look at these protesters out here, they don't care about America. They don't care about freedom. They don't care about what this country is and how special it is. Well, we're going to remind them to.
Johnson showed Bovino preparing to confront the angry crowd.
That crowd there is an unsafe crowd on either side. We're gonna roll them all the way out of here, and when they resist, what happens? They get arrested.
For me as an elected official, it was important for me to be present to witness what's happening.
Juan Munoz came to the protest from a neighboring suburb.
Tell me about October 3rd. Take me through what happened that day.
Yeah, and so federal agents started to gather near the fence and started marching towards the protesters.
The Illinois State Police were kind of maintaining us in the free speech zone in which we were allowed to be.
Kyle Frankovich was a protester in the crowd that day.
Get the out of our state, you fascist scum! Gregory Bovino, he's in charge of the facility there. He started to yell at the crowd, saying, "We're going to clear you out."
Hey, listen, we got one warning only. This is an assembly. Everybody will move down the block into the right, or you're going to be arrested.
And as soon as he turned back to his own agents, he said, "Okay, start to arrest them."
He is threatening to arrest everybody if we don't move. It's happening right now.
They start pushing people off of
where Illinois State Police had told us, like, you can be here.
Cole Sheridan was also there, seen in footage wearing a white bike helmet.
They start yelling at us, move back, or you'll get arrested.
And people started to move back, but that's when they started to grab folks from the crowd. I was holding my phone and had my hands up. There was no aggression, but I felt somebody be taken down behind me. I tried to sidestep it, and as soon as I moved to the side, I felt somebody grab my shoulder and pulled me to the ground. And once I fell onto my back, that's when I saw it was Greg Bovino. And he told me, turn over on your stomach, you're under arrest. And as I was turning, I was telling him and whoever, he told to arrest me, that was an elected official. And, that met with no response, and they took me away into the parking lot.
There are people behind me. I can't move back. They're pushing me. Then I see the person next to me get grabbed and pulled down. I try to pick him up. I get pushed over by 2 agents, end up on top of this person. I have to kind of push myself up to let him out from under me, but there's already 2 or 3 agents on top of me at this point. And they have their knee on my back. They're screaming at me, stop resisting, stop resisting. They pick me up. On my left arm, I'm being held by this very worked up agent who immediately starts shaking me by the arm and saying, stop resisting, stop resisting. The agent on my other arm barks at this guy like, hey, you gotta calm down.
Not long after Cole Sheridan, Kyle Frankovich was also arrested.
They violently grabbed my arms behind my back, zip-tied me, and then started marching me to where they were putting the other dozen or so of us who were arrested that day.
I'm asking, who's detaining me? What am I being detained for? Eventually, supervisor comes up and says, well, you attacked Greg Bovino. And I was like, who's that? She said, well, he's the head of Border Patrol.
Did you think that you were doing anything that would lead to your arrest when you got grabbed?
No. I don't know if I've ever experienced something truly that bizarre and absurd as like seeing a law enforcement agent concoct a narrative to arrest me, to press charges against me. And that was extremely unnerving.
These are exactly the kind of people that we want to be pissing off. So we just
From the scene, Benny Johnson touted the arrest to his millions of followers.
Probably about a dozen left-wing terrorists arrested for attacking police officers and ICE officers.
These individuals assaulted ICE officers.
Benny Johnson, who's embedded with ICE, he was filming and recording and streaming that day, and I can directly be seen in the video along with everybody else I was detained with, as he describes us as being violent extremists who had assaulted federal officers. He made similar statements on his Twitter account as well, with that video being shown with the posts.
Of the 12 people arrested and shown in the video, only one was charged, Cole Sheridan. He was held for 4 days for allegedly assaulting Bovino, but prosecutors dropped the case after video contradicted the claims.
If there hadn't been a bunch of cameras there, Benny Johnson, the right-wing influencer, Secretary Noem, if they hadn't been there, do you think you would have been arrested?
It seems unlikely given how truly weak their case was. I would kind of imagine that a huge part of it was publicity. Another part of it was trying to terrify people and try to scare people away from protesting and speaking their mind.
And try to stop us from protesting.
Over the course of a month in the Chicago area, we found more than 100 people who'd been arrested as they participated in demonstrations or documented the immigration raids. Like in LA, a majority of the cases have been falling apart, with prosecutors dropping charges in at least 75 cases so far. In a statement, The U.S. Attorney's Office said that nearly all the cases were reactive arrests made by law enforcement in the field. And they said their willingness to be open-minded and dismiss cases reflected our commitment to do the right thing, even when a crime was committed.
They are saying things happened when they didn't happen, and then hoping that prosecutors will move forward on those charges. And for the most part, prosecutors are not. I think in part because you have more video footage available than you did in the past, and in part because prosecutors are aware that juries are not as quick to defer to federal law enforcement as they used to be.
Christy Lopez spent years investigating law enforcement misconduct for the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division. We showed her footage of the protests and arrests at Broadview.
One of the things I think is how much like a war zone those places look, and they don't need to be. These are people protesting in an ICE facility. They don't have weapons. There aren't that many of them. They appear to be peacefully protesting, some civil disobedience sometimes, but very mild. Most departments have handled protests like this that have gone on for weeks, sometimes months, without that level of militaristic response. There is no threat in most of these instances. And you're using force that is at best possibly lethal to, a force that can be quite likely lethal.
Bovino later spoke about the arrests at Broadview in a deposition for a federal lawsuit against him and DHS.
I believe that all uses of force that I've seen and all arrests that I've seen have been more than exemplary.
The federal judge in that case admonished Bovino and his agents for how they were operating and ordered limits on their use of tear gas and other weapons unless facing imminent physical threat.
Yeah, Bovino, he was right there, and then
Enrique Bahina was a witness in the case.
they're the ones violent. They're the ones shooting tear gas into communities. They're the ones shooting pepper balls.
He was filming immigration agents from his bike 2 weeks after the court order came down.
There's like 10 cars of them. They're all right there. The day that I got the pepper ball to the neck, everyone was just telling them to get out. Do you have video of it? It's right here.
Was anybody throwing stuff at them? Was anybody hitting them with anything?
Nope, not at all. Everyone was just telling them to leave.
That's you, and that's you getting it.
Yep.
And are you yelling anything or saying anything right there? You just filmed
I
it.
didn't say a single word.
You have your meta glasses on.
Yep.
The court order was eventually overturned and the restrictions lifted. The Border Patrol still wasn't granting me an interview, but as the operations were getting more violent, a source within DHS agreed to talk, if we concealed their identity.
I think it's important the public knows that there's people out there who are also outraged at the operations being conducted, the way that agents, officers are behaving and conducting business. You know you're in the wrong when thousands, hundreds, people are coming out and yelling at you. I don't even tell people who I work for anymore because I'm ashamed of that.
And do you think there's more people that feel the way you do?
I know there is, at least a few, for sure.
Do you think we're going to end up seeing any of these agents who may have engaged in misconduct held accountable?
No, I don't. Not in this current administration.
Hundreds of protests are underway or planned nationwide today in response to the deadly Minneapolis shooting of Renee Good by an ICE agent.
So we're in Minneapolis. It's a few days after federal agents shot Renee Good. We're hearing that there's going to be more federal agents coming to town, like 1,000. That's what the news is saying. And trying to figure out what this is all going to look like.
Rouse, we gotta get out.
Daily confrontations were going on between protesters and immigration agents.
The The White House today doubling down on their support for the operations.
We were reporting in the neighborhood where Renee Good had been killed. Agents were surrounding and questioning a man.
Take your guns home! We don't want guns in our neighborhoods!
We don't need that hardware. It's ridiculous.
People were coming out of their houses.
Get the out! You don't belong here!
The agents started to leave.
Get out of here! Move out! You heard them!
One protester was pepper sprayed in the face at close range. I spoke with the man they were questioning, Christian Molina. He said the officers had rammed his vehicle.
They hit my car for no reason, man. They hit me. What happened? They followed me for no reason, hit my car. They looked at me and they decided to pull me over for no reason. You believe that? That Ford SUV? Yep. I'm a U.S. citizen.
Suddenly,
Oh, here, careful.
someone threw a snowball in the direction of the agents. One of them tossed a tear gas canister into the crowd.
People live here!
An agent pepper sprayed protesters and a news photographer up close. Another fired pepper balls into the crowd. I was hit 3 times.
I got shot repeatedly with pepper balls. Get the f***ing war zone! There's a f***ing neighborhood!
I was in the car, they threw the underneath the f***ing car. Yes! I can't see! You can't see!
On you!
As they left, an agent shot pepper spray from his window. It hit my colleagues in the face.
You need this? Here. Give me the camera. Give me the water! I got water! Water!
Was that spray? Did they just spray from the UV?
In the months I'd been covering this story, I'd seen the same pattern everywhere we went. Federal agents using weapons like tear gas and pepper spray against protesters and bystanders. The courts would try to rein them in, but they'd move on to the next city and do the same things. On local TV, Bovino was unapologetic.
We're here to conduct that Title VIII mission. It won't stop, despite rioters, agitators, and vast amounts of violence against federal officers. We're not going to stop.
I showed footage from the scene to Christy Lopez.
We see just use of excessive force after use of excessive force. In no scenario is it okay to be pepper spraying people as you're leaving the scene. It's just they're mad, they're scared, you know, they're able to get away with it, so they're just using the power they have to use force against people.
I also showed our footage to Chris Magnus.
It's pretty awful. You know, I mean, one of the things in policing when it comes to use of force, it's proportionality. Is the force really proportional to what you're receiving or what you're dealing with? People may well get under your skin under a lot of circumstances. You don't like it, but professionals don't react to it.
This is what our country has become. Take off your vest, walk away, and say that you will not allow this to ruin our country. You have a chance to rectify this.
You have a chance to do right by your country that you're so proud of.
Bovino never ended up doing an interview with me. The Trump administration was continuing to express support for how the operations were being conducted.
To all ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties.
They reposted comments by Trump's advisor, Stephen Miller.
You have immunity to perform your duties, and no one, no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duty.
Ready? Yep, let's do it.
We are asking this federal government to stop the unconstitutional conduct that is invading our streets each and every day.
I met with Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey as he and other Minnesota leaders announced a lawsuit they hoped would end the crackdown.
We've got about 600 plus police officers in the city of Minneapolis, and ICE and Border Control is coming in here with approximately 3,000 or more. And so this is massively disproportionate.
We've been in the streets here. It is tense. Are you worried that more people are going to be hurt or killed?
Yes.
12 days later, 37-year-old ICU nurse Alex Preddy tries to intervene as federal agents knock a woman down.
Whoa!
They repeatedly pepper spray him.
People! What the is wrong with you?
He is pinned on the ground. Video shows an agent removing a legally owned handgun that Preddy had in a holster. Then, shots.
What the did you just do? What the did you just do? What the
This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
Alex Preddy's killing was a turning point.
You are so evil!
Sworn declarations were submitted in federal court by people who say they witnessed the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy. They contradict the version of events presented by federal officials.
The U.S. Border Patrol commander at large has been demoted amid the fallout.
Greg Bovino would quickly be dismissed.
President Trump facing growing scrutiny within his own party over how this immigration crackdown is being handled.
And amid political pressure that now included Republicans, the president sent border czar Tom Homan to Minneapolis.
I'm not here because the federal government has carried its mission out perfectly. President Trump and I, along with others in the administration, have recognized that certain improvements could and should be made. That's exactly what I'm doing here.
Even though Gregory Bovino is gone, I wonder if his imprint will last through all the federal agencies that are continuing to go out on the street. I wonder if anything will change, really. He was the one who was the tip of the spear for this new type of immigration enforcement across the country.
65% say Immigration and Customs Enforcement has gone too far.
The mass sweeps and violent clashes have subsided for now. But immigration arrests continue in large numbers. And in cities around the country, there are deep scars and fear about what lies ahead.